Welcome to video 3. We're going to talk about stop being stuck and an old cycle. So this is the third video in our 3-part training series all about aligning to manifest. So the more that we align to our higher self and raise our vibration, the more easily it is to manifest. So in video 1, we talked about removing blocks, identifying what's going on, and the 3 areas of your life you're ready to let go of, the things that keep you stuck and feeling stuck. And then we talked about in video 1, in the live Q&A portion of it, we talked about the triggers that keep us there, like worry and not being good enough and all these things about why we're not shifting. Now in video 2, we set your goals, talked about manifesting your higher self and the goals that you're really ready to embrace and shift to. And then we really have a free pledge in there, a pledge that you take to yourself and your higher self to really stick to those goals. So they're printable. I made it really pretty for you so you can put it on your walls and your doors or wherever else you want to remind you to stick to your goals. And then we're in video 3 right now. We're going to talk about the spiritual cycles of everything. And then tomorrow I'm going to have a live Q&A at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But what's really exciting is that after this training video, applications open for the Aligned Spiritual Mentorship Program. So I will tell you more about that right after this training. Now, we've released blocks. You've set your higher self goals. You've connected to your higher self, and you've taken the pledge, right? If you haven't, you can go back to the training page and you'll see it all there. But what happens next? You're probably like, great, Whitney, what do I do now? Well, let's talk about it. As we grow spiritually, we move through phases. So sometimes people see them as steps. We talk about taking baby steps and leaps and things, but everything actually is a cycle. It's cyclical. So if you think about the year, we generally, depending on where you live, we'll have 4 different seasons. So we have summer, fall, we have spring, and we have winter. I said those out of order, but you get the whole picture. So it's cyclical, and so is everything in our life. A thought is a cycle, and that cycle can last for 5 minutes. It can last for a week or a month or whatever. That one thought that you have is like a seed, and then as it grows, it grows, it grows and grows, and then it can come back and you can cycle it out again. Now, relationships are a cycle. Health is a cycle. Our lifetime here is a cycle. Everything is. So if you think about a leaf that falls, it comes from the small parts, right? The little cells, the little atoms, and it grows into this leaf, and then it falls away, and then it disintegrates, and then it's fertilizer to feed the earth again. And so we have this cycle that comes through. So let's look at the alignment cycle. This is what I teach inside of the Aligned Spiritual Mentorship Program, and this is really the awareness that you need to shift into the higher vibration. So every time you want to level up, what happens is we're like, great, I'm so excited. I'm going to level up. I'm going to have all this abundance. And then you're like, I don't know if I can do that. And what happens is whatever cycle you're in, you just keep repeating over and over like you're on a carousel or you're on a hamster wheel. What we want to do is repeat and then move and then move and then move and then move and then move. Now, let's just say that you have an awareness and you go through all of these cycles. And then you get to the place where you feel like you're embodying it. Well, that was me. That was me when I said, I am so excited I want to start my own business. And I went through all these cycles and I did start my own business and I lived my path and what I started it for years. And then at some point I had an awareness that something felt off again. So then I started the cycle again. Let's talk about it. The awareness phase is where you feel something's a little off. I don't know what it is, but something's a little off. So it would be kind of like, if you wanted to put it in a funny way, it'd be kind of like when you smell something, like something's not smelling right. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't smell right. So it's an awareness. So you can feel it, like something's weird. I feel like something needs to shift. Or if you start having this awareness, like maybe I got to get my health back on order. I got to get my health back in order. Or you know what, I'm really ready. I'm sick and tired of getting this X amount of pay, or I'm tired of working for this job, or it's time to work for myself, or, I feel like I need something else. Like boredom is actually an awareness of something's got to change here. And then what happens is after the awareness, we move into the awakening. So the awakening is like, okay, I know that my job needs a shift. What is it? What is it about the job that needs to shift? So you start investigating. It could also probably be the investigating phase, but it's the awareness phase or awakening phase, excuse me, where it's like, I'm awakening to the areas. And so now I'm going to research, kind of like that investigation, what steps I could take. So this would be if you said, my physical health, this doesn't feel right, something's a little off. The awakening is, I'm going to research what is it that I can do. Maybe I can go on walks every day. Maybe I can order an elliptical machine. Maybe I just need to do some jumping jacks every day for myself. Maybe I need to eat better. It's awakening to those areas. We start taking that process. So for me, when I was talking about my business, it was, I'm aware that something's a little off again. I thought that I really created the life that I loved, but now I feel like something's a little off and I got to figure out what it is. Now, in the very beginning, it was, I feel tired and drained and I'm tired of this job. And this was before I created my own business. So I knew that something was off. And then it was in the awakening phase, for instance, in that first part of that cycle of starting my own business, I said, okay, like, what could I do? How's this going to work? Like, what is it that I could do? And so we become awakened to that process a little bit more. And so let's say if you want to do some exercise, then, you've done the research, but then you got to move into the growing phase. The growing phase is actually taking the steps. So you're actually taking action, taking the steps, and you are starting to do that. So you're like, I bought my elliptical, it's arrived at my home, and now I just got to get on it, and I'm going to get on it every day. So it's like I'm starting that process of getting on it, and it feels a little tough. Now, in the growing phase, this is where we feel like we have the growing pains. It is where we feel like, that was so hard. I don't know. I feel super uncomfortable. If you think about it, when we're children, as we grow into adulthood, our bones grow, our body grows, and so we've got a little pain. It feels uncomfortable. But then the great news is we're an adult. And so this is similar to that growth phase. Now, as if I'm relating this back to business, so this would be, I'm filing my paperwork, I'm starting to take the steps, I'm starting to sign the lease with my office, all these things. Now, as we move into the integration phase is you've already taken the steps, you're already exercising, you've done it every day, and now you're owning it. You're like, yeah, this is me, it's what I do. So for me, with starting my business, it was, okay, I'm doing readings for everyone, and I'm doing some teachings, and this is in the first phase of my business, and it's like, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is me now. So it's an integration, like it's just me. It's a fact. It's what I do now. So I'll talk about some of the hardest cycles to get out in a little bit, but I want to keep going down the cycle. Now, the healing phase is when we have integrated it into our life. So it's like, let's just say that you have moved. In the integration phase, you are in your new location, you have moved. What happens is when we're doing it, sometimes we look back and we're like, I miss my friends there, or I miss the way things used to be, or gosh, it seemed to be more comfortable. And so you're still maybe having a little bit of a remnants, but it usually comes in the form of feeling inadequate or feeling a loss or second guessing yourself. And then as we're moving from the healing and you understand that you're doing some healing work there, then we're releasing it, right? So we can't just sit in that healing phase. We are going to release it so we can move forward and purge that old energy as we're moving through. And this releasing phase can come in the form of speaking out loud, talking about it, crying, maybe getting mad, journaling about it, just releasing process. And sometimes we think of releasing as being not fun, but it is good. Like it's a cleansing. So right now we have a rainstorm and a thunderstorm, and that's the cleansing, right? And then once we release, we embody. We're like, yes, I'm living my truth, and this feels so good, and I feel delightful, and I feel comfortable, and I am aligned. So let's just say that, I'm going back to my example, I was integrating, I was in my business, and then I started to feel like, ooh, maybe it feels a little scary, or I'm second guessing, or something like that. Then releasing that, and then like, yes, I'm a business owner, and this is great, and this is what I do. This is my life now. I'm not ever going back. But what happened was for like 10 years, I was in that same place of doing the same thing that I was really aligned to do. And then it was, something feeling a little off again. What is it? So I had to repeat the cycle, and it was an awareness that I just fully wanted to go into teaching. And so that's what I do now. I teach you. So this is an example of how I'm using my real world processes in this example, and how you can apply this to any area of your life, to thoughts, to relationship, to housing, to moving, whatever it is, it's the same cycle. And this is raising your vibration. So as we raise our vibration, it's a spiral. It moves up and up and up. It's cyclical, up and up and up. I even have this painting as we're moving up. It's like the cycle, and maybe I'll get to show that to you, but it's more of moving up, 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 cycle, cycle, cycle. I had a question from one of my students, and she said, well, how many times can you up-level your life? And I'm like, infinite and beyond, because when we pass into spirit, we're still up-leveling our life. We're growing, we're learning, we're expanding. So let's talk about some of the areas of the cycle that are a little harder to let go of than others. So if you feel like you had been stuck before in some of the goals that you were making, maybe you were in the healing phase. So the healing phase is where we feel the feels. We feel the energies coming up, and we're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, because I'm feeling like I've let people down. I feel like maybe I'm going to fail, or I feel like I miss the way things used to be. This happens a lot when we shift our vibration and we move into new friend patterns, and we can't seem to connect with the old friends as much. So it's like, I wish I could connect with that person, but I just can't seem to do it. So healing is bringing up a lot of stuff, and this is good because then we release it. So that's where we want to go, is into the releasing phase, where we get to release it, and then we clear it and we move on. But we get stuck in the healing phase, especially empaths. They give. And then if they're not getting anything in return, partly due because they haven't really set those boundaries, then they can feel like, I'm resentful. And then that moves into the victim state. And then they just stay in this resentful place. Now, you might notice that these cycles have colors and they correspond to the chakras. So it's more so an awareness of what needs to be cleared. So you got to move into the releasing phase, and we don't want to stay in the releasing phase where we're just crying all the time and we're still feeling the pity, because then we just kind of get interlocked into the healing and release. We want to move into the embodiment phase. Now, a lot of people get stuck in the awareness and awakening phase. So the awareness phase is, something's off. What is it? I smell something. Doesn't smell right, energetically. And then we don't do any investigating. So we're like, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't want to do it. I'm going to bring up my family a little bit. So my dad knows there's some things he can do to take better care of himself, and he's aware of it, but he's not going to do any research about it. So that's an example. If you started some goals in January, let's say that you wanted to do XYZ, a lot of times we have an awareness of what needs to happen, but we're like, I'll just set some goals, but I don't even really want to look at the possibilities. Now, another area that we really get stuck in is if people make it from the awareness place into the awakening phase, that people won't actually go into the growth phase. So the awakening is the research. Maybe they've thought about buying the elliptical, or maybe they've actually bought the elliptical if they're trying to work out better. I keep bringing elliptical up. But they don't actually take the steps and actually do it. So it just sits there in the room. So this is an example of some of the harder phases to move out of. So what I'd love for you to do is, in video 2, you made some goals. I would love for you to tune in and ask yourself, are these goals that I have goals that I've tried to make previously? And I'd love for you to just pick one for now. Close your eyes, clear your mind, and just ask yourself, what phase of the cycle am I in for this goal? And see what pops up. I'd love for you to pause me if you need to, and then do this for all of the 3 goals that you've made. Maybe you've made more. All the goals that you've made. Go ahead and pause me now. Okay, so you have unpaused me, but I've got another question for you. So my next question is, maybe you have something else that you don't know about. So I'd love for you to clear your mind, and then just ask your spirit guides and your higher self, what thing do I need to know about in my life where I feel perhaps a little bit stuck? And what phase of the cycle am I in? So you could say, what about career? What phase of the cycle am I in? What am I in love? What am I in XYZ? Pause me again if you need to. All right, if you've unpaused me, fantastic. You have your cycle of where you're in, so you have a bit more awareness, which is important. So I am going to ask you, knowing the cycle, are you ready to break through your old cycles and fully step into your next level now that you know that what the levels are? Like, are you ready to do that? Because I think what happens is energetically, we are just like, I don't know, it sounds so mysterious. And we are not really sure. It's kind of like we're just feeling around in the dark. But now you've got some cycles to move through. But we want to do this. We want to break through so that you can manifest easily, have more clarity, expand your abundance and purpose. And the more clear that you are, the higher vibrational that you are, the easier it is to receive your intuitive messages from your guides. But you're probably wondering what the next steps are and what do I need to take? So again, we say steps, but it's like a spiral staircase is what I would say. Now, inside of Aligned, I do give you steps to take to help shove you out of those cyclical areas and help move you into it. But I'm going to give you some good nuggets right now. So I've seen a gap between learning. So like I'm teaching you, and the gap I've seen is I'm teaching you, but then like it's time for you to do some real world implementing in your life. And I've seen a bit of gap there. And so I'm going to give you some helpful tips for that, because you're wondering, how do we fix this? What's going to happen? So number one, remember your why. So we talked about your why in the previous videos. I want you to take the pledge to your higher self, and you can write down your why too. This is going to be like the carrot that keeps you going through the finish line. So let's just say that your goal is to have a higher paying job. And what's your why? Well, maybe you're drilling it down to, well, I'd like to have a bigger house, or I'd like to have more food in the home, or I'd like to have more clothes to buy, or whatever it is. But keep moving down through that. And what is it? Is it because you just really feel like everything flows with ease? You want more space? You want more freedom? What is it? And just put your why. Maybe it's, I want my children to grow up in a house where there's plentiful space and we can all have our alone time, but we can gather together in the open floor plan. I don't know what it is, but you just want to put your why there. And if you don't know me by now, you know that it's okay for spiritual people to have money, because the more money that spiritual people have, the more you're going to help others. So maybe you want more money so you can donate to bigger causes, or maybe you want to build a school for someone, or maybe you want to start a foundation, or you want to start your own business. That's just some examples there. Now, number two, it's really important that you find a supportive group, and that is going to be relationships of similar or higher vibrations. I'll tell you what I do and my experience, but as a teacher, I see the connections that happen inside of groups that are more dedicated, and you need friends. So let's say that you have a friend and she's your bestie, and you are really working on yourself, and you're both interested in intuition and manifestation. But you're like, Whitney was talking about this, and I'm going to do it, and I am taking that new job, or I am putting out my resume, or I'm starting my own business. And let's say your friend's like, that sounds great, but I'm worried about you, and what if you don't make enough money, and what do you, blah, blah, blah. Well, that means her vibration isn't really similar to yours. You're both interested in the same things, but you're not the same vibrational space. So doesn't mean that you don't talk to your friend, but you need to be around people that support you and say, yes, that is amazing. Now, of course, you want people around you that's going to tell you if like you're doing something glaringly like that they see, but I will say 99% of the time, because you're aligned, you're going to. And so your friends are going to say, that is amazing. So let's just say you're a business owner and you really feel intuitively like you need to raise your pricing, even though you're having a little bit of scared feeling, a little fear. You don't want your bestie that's like, no, nobody will buy your stuff. You need the people around you that can look at things objectively and that are similar or higher vibration and say, yes, absolutely, you're valuable. So those are some examples of it. If you're investing in yourself, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you have people around you that get you. So you also, please write this down, you need continual spiritual maintenance. So what happens is we up-level our life, maybe we've shifted and uprooted, we've moved. Like for me, I moved to the place of my dreams, and I had created my business, and it was just amazing. And then it was like, wait a minute, oh, I didn't just get to the top of the mountain. Now I've got another mountain I'm going to climb. But when we look at the mountain that we're climbing, sometimes we think, oh, it's too much work. I'm just going to stay at this plateau. No, it's not. It's easy. But knowing that you are a continually evolving being and that you need to put yourself first in order to function in this world in a healthier way. So the more that you actually put your spiritual maintenance first, meaning meditation, perhaps really looking at your goals, reevaluation, and you make time for yourself, the easier things do get. One of the big turnoffs for me was feeling like, oh, that's another thing to do, and I don't need anything else to do. Well, that, my friend, is telling you that you're out of alignment. So at the time, I was really out of alignment. It's continual spiritual maintenance. So just because you feel like you've gotten to this place, maybe you're a medium and you're like, yeah, I like teach mediumship, or maybe you're a Reiki teacher and you're like, yes, or a life coach or whatever. Maybe you're tired and you're just like, yes, I am good. I'm good to go. No, you're still learning. You're constantly learning, and you have to really continue to do the inner work to get to the higher place. The other real nugget I want to share too, I've got some more too, is tune into your limiting beliefs, actions, and triggers on a consistent basis. So tune into your limiting beliefs, actions, and triggers. When you say something like, when I get my perfect partner, or if you say, one day I'll have my own business, that is a limiting belief. So knowing that money, energy, your goals, you can tap into the energy now. And if you're already energetically connected to it and your higher self is connected, then you can have that experience now. You know that the manifestation that's coming in a physical form is on its way to you. Now, physical things just sometimes take a little bit longer to manifest, but as long as you're connected to the energy, then it will manifest there. So me personally, just some examples of what I've done. I needed a mentor. I said mentor. I guess you can say it either way, right? So I needed a mentor to help guide me. But what I'll say is, one of the biggest things that really did help was having a group of powerful, intuitive souls. And as I continue to move my vibration, I'll notice that when I was in one cycle, I was drawn to one group of people. And now that I'm at a different cycle, I am drawn to another group of people. And it's a synchronistic event. So for instance, I have groups of people that are my frequency and higher that I meet with on a monthly basis and a bi-monthly basis. So really looking more so into, are you surrounded by people? Can you reach out to people that are going to support you and get you? This is a big, big game changer. So you've got some options. You've got option one, you can continue in your path the way it is and you can stay in the awareness phase. Or you can commit to up-leveling your life right now and you're ready. So I've got another question for you. Do you want me to show you how to keep yourself accountable in your spiritual maintenance consistently without it feeling like you have another job to do? Like I did. I felt like, oh, it will be like another job. I'll have to do all these things. So I'll be happy to show you how to keep yourself accountable in a spiritual maintenance way to be consistent without it feeling like you have something else to do, so that it can be easy. And if you say yes, then I'd love to tell you about Aligned Spiritual Mentorship. So Aligned Spiritual Mentorship is a monthly group mentorship program for spiritually ambitious and sensitive souls who want to strengthen their spiritual support system, activate lasting transformation, and find freedom in accepting who they're truly meant to be by keeping you on track every single week through mentoring, hot seats, live training, real-time live intuitive partner exercises, and live Q&A. I love this program. It's filled with such active, wonderful, ambitious souls. Align to the highest version of yourself so you can manifest your dream opportunities, Stop feeling stuck in the same darn cycle and move toward your greater calling. This is a spiritual mentorship program designed for implementation of your spiritual gifts and intuitive messages in the real world. Now, I used to do spiritual mentorship one-on-one in appointments, but it wasn't as effective as in the power of the group because after teaching, the momentum was lost. So we made progress, we wrote down goals, and then I would see people fall off their plan, their pattern, whatever felt good for them. Now, everybody's pattern is definitely unique because everyone's in a cycle. But without the power of the group, it just wasn't as effective. So Aligned Spiritual Mentorship Program was born. So inside of Aligned, we're going to get the Aligned Foundation Success Path. I go into way more detail than we did here, and I also am going to give you real world action steps to help shift you into the next phase. Now, please know that it's not necessarily true that you're going to move the phases in a month because everybody's timeline is different. Like I said, it could be a 10-year timeline, it could be a small timeline. Whatever it is, when you raise your vibration and become more aware, you shift your vibration in a fast way and you make progress. So you're going to understand and identify which phase of spiritual growth you're in. You'll get instant access to our core program that will keep you grounded and focused on how to move forward along your unique path. You can choose one goal every month if you want to really focus your vibration on, and you can identify which phase of the cycle you're in and take concrete action steps. Now in week 1, we have a renewable plan that happens every month. Inside of week 1, every Tuesday, you get channeled messages from Spirit from my Spirit guides. I do this through my Spirit guides for the group. Sometimes they're live, sometimes they're recorded. But the really cool thing is the messages that come through are only for our aligners. And inside those messages, I might say, do you feel more aligned to purple, blue, or green? And then depending on your answer, there's a more individualized message there for you. I don't do readings anymore, and this is right now the only way to get access to my Spirit guides for those messages. And when we're live, sometimes I may answer some individual questions as well. Now in week 2, we have group mentorship hot seats. So I do a mini lesson based on the theme of the month, and we're going to do hot seats. So that means you get one-on-one access to me live. We do this on Zoom where we see each other's faces, and you will be able to say, this is what's going on. How do I shift it? I'm stuck here. Like, what do you see? I look at it from my experience as a teacher, but also through a spiritual lens with my Spirit guides too. Now, week 3, Spirit Surprise rotates between an intuitive play day, a guest expert interview or teaching, and a little extra hot seats. So it really depends. We rotate through the quarter, but I like to call it Spirit Surprise. You have an element of surprise. Now, every first of the month will give you the schedule, so it's not going to be that much of a surprise, but I like to give that little element of, let's let Spirit have some magic here. Now, everything inside of Aligned is recorded. So all the live sessions, if you can't show up, are going to be recorded. They already are in the members area. And so what I will say here is I love all the different aspects, but we've had guest experts that come in to talk about twin flames and soul relationships. We've had a hypnotherapist to do a group hypnotherapy exercise. We've had a breathwork specialist to teach us a little bit about breathwork and actually do the experience. We have lots of free goodies in there when they come in, and I love it. Now, intuitive play days are where we get together, we strengthen our intuition. We get together on Zoom. I put you in pods, and you get to do readings to increase your intuition. Now, you don't have to be a medium to participate in this, but it's about validation of your intuition. And then I've already told you about the hot seats, but if you wanted some extra ones, we'll have those in there too. Now, you'll also get in-depth live Q&A with me, and that's going to be the 4th week of the month. If you can't show up live, it's no big deal. You just ask your question through the form. I get it, and then I answer it live on video, and then it's uploaded and recorded for you to access later. Now, you'll also get a monthly theme to help you focus and make your spiritual growth fun, because it is. And there's themes with affirmations, and the affirmations, I've made them pretty nice so that you can print them out, post them on your wall or wherever you are to say these affirmations, because they go through your mental and emotional body into the spiritual plane as you attract all the things in alignment to you. You'll also get a monthly energy infused, spirit channeled, guided meditation. So what does this mean? It means my spirit guides come through, they give energy into me. I also allow Reiki to flow as I'm doing these meditations, and it's whatever spirit's saying in the moment. I do not have a script, it's whatever comes out, and we put that to some beautiful music so you can listen and relax and increase your intuition, manifestation, and abundance. We do this every month, and it's different based on the theme. They're about 20 minutes long, and I listen to my own meditations as well. You'll also get the private Facebook group. Now, you don't need a Facebook profile to join Aligned. You'll get access to everything as far as the weekly sessions, but I do encourage you to join. So if you have to choose one Facebook group out of all the ones I have, this is the one I would definitely say to be in. This is the most active. It's the most positive that I've seen in our group because people are actually implementing and they're sharing their wins and they're not afraid to do it. And it's really amazing. You'll also get an accountability program if you want it. It's optional. But if you are like, I want to meet with people on a monthly or twice a month or weekly basis, you can join one or create one. And we've got some nice tools in there for you to partner you up with the right people. So this is really important. It's one of the biggest things that's catapulted me in my life to force me to level up. Like, if I'm going to make goals, I need people to really be telling me, well, why didn't you make the steps? So this can be scary sometimes, but it's really nice. Now, post-COVID, we have a local meetup program. And so that means you can find other aligners in your state, and you might want to get together and have a little in-person retreat. And when I travel around, I'll reach out and say, hey, do we have any aligners here so we can meet together? So inside of Aligned, you get the Aligned Foundation Success Path, understand and identify the unique phase of spiritual growth you're in. You'll get weekly exercises and lessons. So that includes channeled spirit messages from my guides, group hot seats, spirit surprise sessions, which could be guest experts, intuitive play days, extra hot seats, and you also get live Q&As. You'll get monthly themes and printable affirmations, so you need a new spiritual focus sometimes to keep you grounded. You'll get some monthly guided, energy-infused, channeled meditations, and you'll also get access to me during the live sessions. I don't do one-on-ones anymore, but you'll definitely get some one-on-one support in our group sessions that we have. Now, the bonuses, you get the private Aligned Facebook group community, the accountability program, the local meetup program post-COVID, and you'll also get access to all the previous months that we've done. So I've been telling you, gosh, we had this guest expert, it was breath work. We've had this guest expert, and it's really been amazing because we talked more so about twin flames and those things. You get access to all these. So you get those and you get all the new content as long as you are a current member inside the program. So I'd love for you to apply. You can apply now at messengerspirit.com/next level because we're taking your vibration there. Because when you upgrade your vibration, you up-level your life. It's really, really that easy. You can get started for $97 a month as a monthly member, or you can save $41 per quarter if you want to pay per quarter. Now, we do ask you to have an initial 3-month commitment because we do not shortcut our way to spiritual growth. I do not want you coming in for a month and then saying, I didn't do it, bye. We really just want committed individuals inside the program. And we'll talk about why we're doing an application, and the application will let you know if you're a good fit or not, but I'll explain it a little bit more. But first I want to talk about Sherry. So Sherry stopped playing small and she started to play big. And I love this. I don't have it all here, but you can read it on our page, is that she said, I went from like my life in a toilet in Arizona to amazing in Florida. I love it. So she said, before joining the program, I was a hot mess. Even though I knew I had intuitive gifts, I had no formal learning or working on increasing my abilities and the information I gained in Whitney's Intuitive Tribe, which is the free Facebook group. She said, it helped me realize how far I'd come, but I still had a lot of places to go, like how far I still had to go, which is why I joined Aligned with complete confidence at Whitney. I was so excited and knew I was going to teach or to reach heights that I never thought possible while helping others do the same. It has turned out to be so much more than I ever thought possible between the hot seats, spiritual play dates, new meditations, guest speakers, Q&A, It's all exceeded my wildest expectations. I can't speak highly enough of Whitney, her staff, the group, and everything I've learned. When we get monthly messages from spirits, it's as though Whitney's guides are speaking directly to me, and every month's topic seems to be exactly what I need at that time. It's amazing. Thank you, Sherry, so much for sharing your story. You can read more about Sherry on our page, messengerofspirit.com/next level. Lisa, she says, Align will completely change your life. I was like, what? Thank you so much for that testimonial. She said, before I joined Aligned, I was a mess. I felt confused about what my life held for me and what it all meant and what my path looked like. But after learning about my guides and going deeper and connecting with them, I talk to them every day and can communicate without any blockages. It's been a complete turnaround, and it will completely change your life. Align lets you take your time learning from it, and you can always come back to it when you need it, as long as you're an active member. I love it so much. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing your story. So Chandra is actually an Intuition Abundance Academy mentor. She's been with me for quite a while, and I love the first line she said. She says, alignment, what? That's exactly how I felt before this mentorship. I had just finished the 4 intuitive languages, which is my signature framework inside of Intuition Abundance Academy. And she said, I was beginning to develop a personal relationship with my guides, baby steps, when I joined the program. I had already taken multiple programs from Whitney before she knew she was an amazing teacher, and I wasn't ready to stop this journey. So she said, I've been taking these programs before, and I knew she was an amazing teacher, and I wasn't ready to stop the journey. Whitney's mentorship helped me get in touch with what was truly me instead of what I have been told or taught that I am. That's a big thing. Inside this program, we want you to really connect with your authentic self and exemplify your purpose, like your life purpose, your abundance, your expansion, your manifestation, your intuition. She said, I love the accountability in this program and what the next month's theme or channel messages will be. If you're serious about leading a life connected to spirit, gaining the tools to help you find and live your true life purpose and be unapologetically authentic, this is where you need to be. I love it. And finally, Danielle, she said that she strengthened her gifts and she's built confidence in speaking to her guides. So before I enrolled in Aligned membership, I was searching to find answers to understanding and developing my gifts. The amount of information out there was so confusing and overwhelming. I knew my spiritual alignment was off, but I didn't know what was wrong or how to fix it. I was looking for insight, guidance, and community, but could never find anything that felt like the right place. Finding Whitney and the Aligned program was a tremendous relief. I felt like I'd finally discovered the community and mentor that I had spent months searching to find. It's amazing how far I've come. Thank you, Danielle, for sharing your gifts. And what I love about all these women, too, is they have different purposes. Danielle's a life coach. I know Chandra's a manager. And I see there's so many different people that come into this program. Now, these kind of posts are what I see inside of the Facebook group quite a bit, which I really, really love, and thank everyone for sharing. So apply for Aligned. I'd love to see you in the program, but I am going to tell you if you are wondering if you're the right fit or not. But you can go to messengerspirit.com/next level. Monthly members are $97 a month. Quarterly members are $250 every 3 months. And you can save $41 per quarter if you want to go in the quarterly membership. But we do ask for a 3-month initial commitment. So why am I doing an application process? Well, Aligned is really for people who have already felt connected to their intuition and also have a foundation of their spirit guide. So we don't teach intuition in the program. This program is an implementation spiritual mentorship. So I'm going to help you apply what you've learned into the program. So you might be wondering, well, Whitney, I haven't learned from you. Like, is this good for me or not? Well, some of the key factors is, do you feel like you're already connected to your intuition? Do you feel like you get messages? And so really, are you ready to up-level your life and shift whatever it is that you're shifting? So inside of Align, we have different themes. So next month in August, our theme is magnetizing your manifestation and your money. July's theme is being empowered and being seen. We've had release and let go. We've had diving deep, all these different themes in your life. So If you're ready to join and you feel like you had a good foundation, then I invite you to apply. If you feel like you're a beginner, I think Intuition Abundance Academy would be the best for you, and that opens in September. But Aligned is for intermediate to advanced people who are spiritually intuitive. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. So it's really good if you have a good foundation of intuitive work and knowledge of spirit guides. This membership, it's a program, mentorship, I should say, is absolutely for anyone who feels ready to implement their spiritual knowledge and uplevel their life. It's absolutely for anyone who might have experimented with other spiritual resources and even manifested too. It's for people who sense that they keep coming up against energetic blocks or feel like that something is just off when they try to connect with their spiritual self. It's for people who want to move through their next powerful life transition or their life purpose with greater spiritual strength and support. It's for someone who desires a connected, conscious community where they can truly be themselves and let their woo-woo flag fly. It is for people who feel comfortable expanding beyond their unknown and their known limitations. So AKA, if we start talking about galactic beings, you're not going to run away. Because that'll probably happen. In fact, that will happen. So this is also for you. And for anyone who knows that they have to visit the dark, messy, shadow parts of themselves in order to do the work to align to themselves. So it's not all rainbows and roses. Now, it's not for you if you're in the beginning phases of your spiritual journey and feeling unsure or of how to get started. So keep an eye out for Intuition Abundance Academy when it reopens. It is not for you if you don't feel like you can fully commit to at least 1 hour a week inside of the mentorship program. Now, saying that, I know that we can't always be at all the different things, but what I will share with you is everything's recorded so you can go back to it. I want you to look at it as a spiritual buffet. It's there for you and what you need, but we do like for you to have a reciprocal exchange inside the group, meaning energy exchange. So we want you to contribute to the group as well. That means share and just share your wins. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do anything else. It's just we want to see your presence there, and so that we can help hold you accountable. Now, I'm somebody that's always been a bit more shy, and I excel when I'm talking to people that really get me. And so I have a feeling that's most likely you too. When you're with people that get you, you can talk and you can open up, but it might take you a little bit, and that's okay. Now, it's not for you if you feel like you are not ready to consistently commit to your spiritual alignment for a minimum of 3 months. It's not for you if you don't dig keeping spiritual conversations raw and unfiltered. So if an F-bomb flies out of my mouth, you're not going to be upset. It is not for you if you're unable to provide reciprocal support to your fellow mentorship members. We're all in this together, and there's a real energy exchange. So we want that power of the collective. So what if you can't show up live? That's okay. Generally speaking, we like to do hot seats and live sessions at 11 a.m. Arizona time. Sometimes they're at 4 p.m. Arizona time. However, we like to tell you this in advance so that you can start taking your lunch break, or you can go ahead and start moving your schedule through the rest of the year, because those are pretty much the times. But if you can't show up live, we do record them and you can watch them later. So please don't feel like you have to attend every single thing. This program has a tremendous value to it, so you don't have to utilize every single piece to feel like you're getting all the value out of it. The price is very, I would say, you're in good hands here, because the price will go up. So how do I get one-on-one support? Well, you'll get one-on-one support with me during the hot sessions and anytime we have live sessions. So you will get that, and you can also join an accountability group so you can talk to others as well. I am the most active inside of this group, so I will be there. I'm there every week. Sometimes we have a pre-recorded lesson, but when I'm there live, you'll get that one-on-one support from me at least once a month, and it's more, really. So most of the time I show up live for all 4 weeks, but sometimes I might not, just depending on my schedule. Now, what if I can't watch the monthly content all at once? No big deal. You get access to the recordings as long as you're an active member. So as long as you're an active member, you can watch all the previous recordings and videos. So how much time do I need to commit? Well, I like to say 1 hour a week, but it's okay if you bunch them. I have liners who are in June, for instance, and they are catching up on some of the things they missed March, April, May, because sometimes life comes up or maybe you want to travel. Do you need any prior training? Not necessarily, but what I'll say is you need to have a good foundation and feel like you are good with your intuition and spirit guides. Now, when I say that, what happens is some people go, oh, I will never get to that perfect place. That's just, I'm still a beginner. Claim your skill sets, please. Please claim your skill and your intuitive skill and know that you are connected. So if you've already been working with me, if you've ever been in one of my classes, or you have been in Intuition Abundance Academy, or you've been in For Intuitive Languages, you already are going to be approved. So anyone that's worked with me in the past regarding their intuition and spirit guides, that's going to be an automatic yes, you can get into the program. Now, if you're like, well, I'm not sure, I've learned with another teacher, that's fine, as long as you feel like you've got some intuition and you're understanding, because we just don't teach intuition in this program. This is not a teaching program other than I do some mini lessons. This is like a mastermind-like experience. So it's really important that you understand that. So I'd love for you to apply and upgrade your vibration. Go to messengerspirit.com/next level. I'm going to be doing some live Q&A on July 21st. I'll be going live. Applications are going to close on July 30th, but I hope to see you there. When you go to the application form, you are going to know if you're the right fit or not to help you understand that, but I hope to see those applications come in. messengerspirit.com/next level. All right, I will see you really soon. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, and I will be going live on my Facebook page to answer some questions. All right, bye.